The rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
Throwing is Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
So, Charles, defensively here, you're going up against a veteran quarterback. He's got a lot of know-how, a ton of savvy, but a guy who's not the most mobile of quarterbacks. What's the plan of attack?
You spend all week pumping up your defensive front. Your defensive tackles, your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys who go after the quarterback the most, because you know that he's not going to run and beat you consistently throughout the game.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball. That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Jackson from the shotgun. Going for it all. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Play action now. Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Not much there, only a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll throw again. Cousins. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Looking into the wing, drops, and he muffs it.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good gain on first. Has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Play action. Now Jackson. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? Be able to get him in the 2nd round? That's what I call a steal.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Play fake. Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Play action. It's Jackson. His throw incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now it's Jackson. This one caught over the middle. It's Oliver, the tight end. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
He's going deep for Brown.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted.
Picked off inside the 5. And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line.
So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
And for Kirk Cousins, who came into the league as a backup to RG3, they were drafted the same year in Washington in 2012. Then he got a starting job. He's been pretty consistent. And on that last throw, Kirk Cousins just went over 30,000 yards in his career. Congratulations, Kirk. It was Chuck Clark coming up to make the tackle.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Smith. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr., his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd and 7, Jackson.
That's complete to his receiver, Bateman.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a big hit. Did not get free, but boy, that's a tough area to go into when you're going into his spot. That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson, he's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
Open man is Duvernay.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the 44, Jackson. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Throwing is Jackson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put
put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And able to get this out to the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson.
Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Of course, a lot of people in the Twin Cities, and these Vikings fans probably remember Rashad Bateman because he played in college for the Golden Gophers in Minnesota. And 2,400 yards in just 31 games playing for P.J. Fleck and the Gophers. And
that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. It's a big play there for Baltimore. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Here's a give to Dobbins.
He's to the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins
with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. Tucker with the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
In to make the stop, Patrick Queen, the linebacker, the Ravens' leading tackler in 2020. 5 yards remain on 2nd down.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Smith catches left side. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll run for it. Cook. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40.
Backed up where they were on this side of the field, that was a gutsy call.
A gutsy call that never should have happened. Not so much them going for it. That's their decision. But where's the defensive front? Where's the leverage? Where's the low man wins? Where's getting into the offensive backfield and spilling the play? How did they permit them to pick up a first down in that situation?
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to the ground, Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Cousins. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Dafe away. Able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. They'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Justin Houston in there for the sack. It's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 and what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Here's Jordan Berry now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Making the tackle there, the former Giant, Dalvin Tomlinson. Now a 2nd down and 6. Jackson now. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a book. And now off to the races, down the right side. They will finally be taken down, but how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the 3rd quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Dalvin Tomlinson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The Ravens on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Jackson. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Dalvin Tomlinson able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Taken in at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Like a freight train off the edge. Calais Campbell with a sack.
CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
3rd and long for Cousins.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, and it's going to bring up 4th down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And he'll wind up netting positive yardage out of this as he's able to get it up near the 25-yard line.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. It's a big play there for Baltimore.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you can do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Jackson to throw. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know This is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Dobbins will take this into the end zone. It's a Ravens touchdown. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 17-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are...
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Justin Houston getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And this one is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Jackson. Flush to his belly. Can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Tucker's kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts. You got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. Now Cousins.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Baltimore,
the victory moves them to 7-1 on the year.
And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.